And I got to shout out Jordan Poole because I didn't see the vision from year 1 to year 2.
Okay.
So when I seen him year 2, I was like, wow. I literally was like, damn, it's 3 of them now. Like,
that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is, Steph's been out for a couple games, and man, he has stepped up, and he's worth every penny that they're paying him.
Yeah, every penny. He's a star.
PG was kinda right when he said those things about the former Golden State Warrior back then. But now, things have just been different nowadays when we talk about Jordan Poole. I mean, so far, he's been treating us with a bunch of boneheaded plays this season. Like, it's so many already that you could actually make a compilation video out of it. And speaking of which, here's one that might just top it all off. So here in this matchup against the Pistons, Poole got Cade on one-on-one, crossed him up, and then pushed him off to create a separation, which is pretty nice. But instead of shooting the ball, Poole stopped and looked at Cade for a moment, and because he lagged a bit, Ausar Thompson caught up with him and erased his shot all the way to the first row. Last year, Jordan Poole was entertaining us with his sick handles and electrifying moves. But don't get me wrong, he's entertaining us still this season, but in a totally different way though. Let's be real here, guys. The Warriors dodged a major bullet in Jordan Poole by letting him go along with his fat $120 million contract. A lot of people have been saying that the Warriors made a mistake in trading Poole for the 38-year-old Chris Paul, mainly because of the quote-unquote bad fit of CP3, plus the fact that he's too old and at times fragile. But with just a month into the new season, it's looking like the Warriors made the right call in pulling the plug on Jordan Poole, cause he's just clowning everyone right now by putting up silly plays while playing with one of the worst teams in the NBA right now. I mean, to really have an idea of who's winning in the Chris Paul-Jordan Poole trade, let's take a look at their stats and compare the numbers. From a quick glance, you can see right away that Jordan Poole may have the edge over CP3 because he's scored more points so far this season. However, if we're going to measure both of their contributions for their respective teams, we have to take a look at the plus-minus box score. And in this specific aspect, you can see that Chris Paul has always generated a positive plus-minus rating, except for one game. And on the flip side, Jordan Poole has always generated a negative plus-minus rating in all of their games, with the exception of their blowout win against the Detroit Pistons, where he logged in a plus 10 rating. If you sum it all up, CP3 logs in a plus 0.4 rating, while Poole tallies a negative 11.7 so far this season. See, although Chris Paul hasn't been seeing a ton of court action this season compared to the previous years, he will almost always make the right play or generate a positive impact when he gets off the bench. Meanwhile, Poole is starting for the Wizards this season, but despite having that privilege, he's not maximizing the opportunity that has been given to him, and in fact, he's just squandering it all away for some reason. Again, advanced stats show us that CP3 is playing way better than Poole right now, with his positive 12.2 on and off-court rating compared to Poole's horrendous negative 27.6 rating. And apart from that, Poole also tops the Wizards right now in terms of turnovers, which again can be reflected in his erratic play and questionable decision-making. I mean, I'm not really a big numbers guy, but this is basically all you need to know about who's the loser and the winner of this trade-off. Anyway, I actually have one theory in mind as to why Jordan Poole is playing at an all-time low right now. And that has something to do with what I personally call the JGP Syndrome, or just got paid syndrome. If you just do a quick search on Google, you'll find a bunch of articles talking about some of the rising stars of yesteryears who just completely disappeared the following season, right after their contract year. A great example of this is Julius Randle. So, if you remember a couple of seasons ago, Randle signed a 4-year, $117 million contract back in August 2021. coming off a 24.1 points per game season. Now, right after he signed on the dotted line, Randle's performance all of a sudden plummeted the following season. From 24.1, his scoring numbers went down to just 20 points per game, and his shooting numbers also spiked down significantly, highlighted by his three-point percentage, which had gone down from 41.1% to just 30.8% in the 2021-22 season. Now, if we're going to take a look at Jordan Poole's case, a similar pattern emerges. After cashing in a 4-year, $128 million deal last year, Poole's offensive numbers dipped this season. From averaging 20.4 points last season, that number has gone down to just 17.3 points so far this season. Apart from that, his scoring efficiency has also taken a hit, because after averaging 43% from the field, 33.6% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line last season, those numbers have sunk to new lows this season, which is highlighted with his abysmal 28% shooting from distance. I mean, this just got paid syndrome thing has been going on in the NBA for a long time now, and it has affected players like Joakim Noah, Chandler Parsons, Luol Deng, and Gilbert Arenas in the past. I think the reason why this continues to happen up to this day is that players tend to relax or chill a bit after getting the bag, instead of playing even harder to justify the amount that they're being paid for. I mean, after putting in the hard work all through those years prior to the contract year, they probably think that they deserve some kind of a vacation season, where they could just hang loose and play at a minimum effort. And that's exactly what we're seeing with Jordan Poole right now. Anyway, one of the guys who saw this behavior from Poole was Kevin Garnett, and in his podcast, he called him out in public and said this:
Jordan Poole, highly disappointed in Jordan Poole. You know what I thought? When I'm watching him, I don't think he has, I think he was toying with the league to a point of kind of like disrespectful. Like, it's so sweet out here, like,
for real.
Like I can do what I want out here, you know what I'm saying? Like he
need to get back in the lab.
He need to get back in the lab and just get serious for a little bit. And he looks like he's having too much fun in other places, off the court. It does not look like he's doing anything. He does not even look like the same Jordan Poole from Golden State. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I think the DC fans deserve more than that, bro. Straight up. You know, all of us. We're all fans of Jordan Poole. Yeah. We love the Jordan Poole show.
No doubt.
You got a responsibility
I'm still a fan
to that.
of his game, but I just like to see him pick it up a little more.
Yeah, straight up. I want to see him go for a crazy. And lock in.
And lock in.
Straight up.
Because I know the type of potential he got.
It's crazy to think that after being pegged as Steph Curry 2.0 a season ago, Jordan Poole has regressed to his old G League version right after winning a ring and getting the bag. Sure, the JGP Syndrome that I talked about earlier may have a lot to do with that, but I think the other reason why Poole is playing badly right now is because he simply can't handle the spotlight. During his time with the Warriors, we saw his rise from the G League to being a fringe all-star flanked by the Splash Brothers in just 4 seasons. There was a point in time when he was playing like a borderline superstar, and the only thing that prevented him from going to the next level was the lack of opportunity because he was playing behind the shadows of Steph and Klay, and acting as the third wheel. This situation is kind of similar to what James Harden went through back when he was playing with OKC. I mean, everyone knew that Harden was more than just a sixth man and had the potential to be a megastar in the league. But as we all know, he was held back by Durant and Westbrook. Now, after he got traded to Houston, he just took over and became the superstar that people thought he was going to be. However, the same thing can't be said for Jordan Poole right now. I mean, the opportunity to be the top guy is already in the palm of his hands right now. But so far this season, that opportunity is slipping through his fingers each and every game. And the worst thing about it is that it looks like he doesn't care at all.
It was great in Golden State because you wasn't the focus. And when you was out there giving you 19 and 20 and you got Steph and Klay and all them other guys taking the pressure on you now, when the pressure's on you, it's like this, because like what I saw in Golden State, I was like, damn, he giving you a dub on Golden State.
I was like,
just imagine he go to his own team. He probably could give you, I think he gonna average 25 this year.
Same thing. When Klay went down, I was like, Jordan Poole, cool. Yeah. Man, Klay, take your time, cool. Then all of a sudden, that started looking whoop. That started looking like, now I'm seeing it because you the headliner.
You the headliner.
This is the perfect opportunity for him to shine while playing on a bad Wizards team. but it turns out he's actually turning out to be the worst player on the worst team in the NBA right now. I mean, I really have no idea what's going on with him right now. But whether it's about JGP syndrome, or he simply can't handle the pressure of being the go-to guy, there's one thing for sure. Jordan Poole has to shape up and play like his old self, or else it's only a matter of time before he gets shipped out and plays in a different uniform.